What's shaking? It's good to be back on All In because today we're going all in. Have you ever had super big dreams, at least you thought they were super big, and you start to talk to people about them and they're like, man, it just doesn't feel right when you're talking to these people because you get uncomfortable a bit, or they get uncomfortable and they try to change the subject or something like that. That's what we're going to talk about today, is when you're trying to express this amazing thing inside your brain, inside even your core and your soul, that might be your purpose in life, and you're figuring out how to do that, and you got this ginormous vision. And when you talk to people, you get uncomfortable telling them. Share this out with 3 people today, because this is going to be an amazing, amazing episode. It's something that I've experienced a lot over the past couple years. And today we are going to dive into this for a few minutes. I just took my company, Reach Out Technology, public just a little bit ago, right? We launched our public offering, which is awesome. We're selling 6 million shares, and for just $1 a share, it's pretty cool. And, we have the landing page up at reachoutit.com/invest. And I've gotten a board put together over the last couple of years that includes an original shark from Shark Tank, Kevin Harrington, who's built, a couple of billion-dollar companies. Another gentleman of note is Darren Jacklin, he is on the board of eXp Realty, took it from, just a couple million to a few billion over the last 7 years. I'm very grateful for that. And when I started approaching people and at the very beginning of this journey, and I was asking individuals to be on my board. I mean, people who I thought had huge, expansive, abstract minds, and I'd start to talk to them about the vision and how I want to build this army, because people need to be protected, and cybersecurity just generally isn't affordable for small businesses, or even accessible for that matter, because they don't know who to call, or even just every individual, consumers. How do I protect myself so my money doesn't get sucked out of my bank account, or my identity doesn't get stolen, my debit card doesn't get cloned, whatever. All of these things. And I'm putting this out there and being like, this was like 3 years ago. And I'm like, this is what I'm thinking. I mean, first I talked to people in my industry and they're like, there's no way, right? Public company never happened within my space before. Well, guess what? Now I'm the first and only. Okay. And then there's other individuals that I was trying to give the visions, like, this is how I want to accomplish it. I want to acquire, and in a roll-up, acquire about $50 million in top-line revenue. And that's just like phase 1, right? Over the next 2 years. And then we're going to list on NASDAQ, and our valuation is going to be into the billions, because that's the only way that we can actually get the resources in both talents and technology, the actual tools to be able to do something that actually works, that makes a real difference. And I'm throwing this out there, and I'm starting to cast this huge vision for a lot of people that I originally asked to be on my board of directors. And you know what? The first round, no joke, the very first round of people that I went through, it was like 6 people never joined. And when I got part of the way into the conversation with them, the questions would be asked just kind of blew my mind, because it's like people who I looked up to for a while. And I'm asking them, how do we do this? I would also like you to invest to help, because I want you to have skin in the game. Because I think that you should, if you're going to be on my board, I think you should have skin in the game. And I was like, no, I don't really do that, but I'll be happy to start talking with a freaking billionaire. No joke, with a billionaire. And I asked him to do this. And I'm like, I want you to invest, even if it's a small amount, even if it's just $250,000. I mean, what's that compared to $1 billion, right? That he's got in his pockets. And I'm like, then you can be on my board and you can help guide me, because I've seen you do this before. And the response that I got was just so ridiculous, and the questions that I got too were just so insane to me, because they seemed so small. And I'm not necessarily talking about people not understanding what you're doing. No, because I've got that. My mom, I love her. But when I try to explain what I'm doing, she's so supportive, so amazing that way. But then it just doesn't compute, right? Because she's never been educated in capital markets or really been in business at all. She was a bookkeeper for a grocery store chain for a while, and then she worked at a school for a while too, as in administration. So her degree is actually in education. So it just isn't the way that she thinks, but she's so supportive, doesn't understand next to anything that I do, but she's extremely supportive. I'm not talking about that, like people not comprehending, right? I'm talking about people that make you uncomfortable because of the small-minded questions or the small-minded statements that they're saying, and you're just blown away. And now at this point, they say something that you are uncomfortable, not them, that you are uncomfortable. Because you're trying to explain this really big vision and you're just thinking, man, you just don't get it. Out of all the people, I thought you could get it. Right? And this is my point, because prior to this in my life, I could tell people what I was doing. Like, oh, that's awesome. That's great. I think that's going to succeed. Really cool. And then I tell them something else. It's like, oh, that's amazing. That sounds like a really good plan for your life. Go for it. And I had so much encouragement. Like even when I started a business, right? My very first business, even when I started that, or prior to that, when I would like go after new jobs or something, because that made sense to people, right? And it's something that they felt that I could do, or something that was like in my lane, something that fit my class, okay? Something that fit what they thought I could be capable of, that was appropriate for me in their eyes, through their lens. And then the only moment, and when I knew that I actually had something real, that I actually had something that was profound, is when it crossed over from support into these stupid, small-minded comments and questions. That's how I knew that I started dreaming bigger. Prior to that, my dream was small, right? Because if I was just thinking about paying my mortgage, having a comfortable life for my family and I, just getting through life, having a 401k, having a comfy but not lavish retirement, all that, that is what I had thought years ago, even though and I still had to expand my mind, had to be exposed to more things to where I recognized what it was. And then I knew I was on to something big when I crossed over from having support into not having support. Because you want to dream so big that you get uncomfortable telling small-minded people. Did you hear that? Dream so big. I'm encouraging you today to dream bigger, because you are probably thinking too small. I know I'm talking to people right now that are thinking too small because everybody's got your back. When everybody's got your back, your dream is too small. So today, dream so big that you get uncomfortable telling small-minded people. I love you. I know you needed to hear this today. Now go all in.